Jennifer, you married into this family. My money is your money too. It's only natural, right? I will give you a freebie, though. You probably spent about $30,000 in Florida, but Uncle Sam will foot that bill. She, along with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, Susan, just used people's credit cards as if they were their own. It sounds like they ended up spending around $30,000 on their Florida trip, but is that really my credit card? Did they even check before using it? They probably didn't even bother to confirm whose name was on it. Naturally, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, who have been doing whatever they want, should face some painful consequences. It's too late for regrets and apologies. I am Jennifer, 31 years old. I worked as an office employee. Ryan and I have been married for 3 years, but we don't have any children yet. Recently, after discussing it with Ryan, we fulfilled our wish and bought our own home. We chose a 4-bedroom house so we can welcome children at any time and designed a spacious living room where everyone can gather. We hope to have 2 or 3 children in the future. Ryan and I dream of building a cheerful home filled with laughter. However, now that we bought a house, we have to work harder than ever to pay off the mortgage. This inevitably means that we have less time to make children. The reality of having to work to pay off the mortgage and the desire to have children has indeed caused us conflict and urgency. But the magic of the new house seems to purify these troubled feelings. The unique scent of a new house, the whiteness and cleanliness from floor to ceiling, and the fact that the 2 of us discussed and built this house makes it feel even more comfortable. This healing space seems to be telling us there's no need to rush. Our journey to pregnancy might be a long one, but since we've just started anew, we are going to work together and do our best. It was just after we had renewed our determination that my mother-in-law and sister-in-law started coming to our house almost every day. I understand they want to see their son's or brother's newly purchased house, but when they come every day, it's irritating for both of us. We are utterly troubled by my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. If it were just daily visits, it might be tolerable, but this was just the beginning of even worse things to come. One night, while my mother-in-law and sister-in-law continued to do as they pleased in our home, they said, "Hey, we're out of beer. Bring some more." "Oh, Mom, I'll get it." I was getting up for a new snack anyway. Listening to this conversation alone, one might think it's a typical family chat. However, this is taking place in the new house we purchased. Yes, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law are making themselves at home in our new place as if it's their own. Even if it's a family member's purchase, spending every day relaxing in a married couple's home seems to lack common sense. Furthermore, they don't hesitate to open the fridge to drink the beer I bought or eat all the food meant to last a week. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law's behavior is beyond the limit. What are you 2 thinking? Seriously, stop it. Ryan repeatedly warns them, but they choose not to listen. They both eat what I've made for dinner, the snacks too, and drink up all the beer. They leave the unclean dishes in the sink and even take a shower at our house. When all that is done, they go back to their own home. Maybe they don't have any food or the infrastructure like gas, electricity, or water, or are they very poor? Such thoughts cross my mind as I try to calm the irritation I feel. Every chance they get, they keep saying a new house is the best, and every day I see them relaxing as if it's their own place. It's really getting us down, coming over every single day. What are they thinking? Even Ryan is pretty angry. We didn't want them in our house, so there were times we locked the door and pretended not to be home, but my mother-in-law and sister-in-law caused to seem right outside the house. Since we had just moved into the new house, we hadn't yet built a relationship with the neighbors. We were concerned about their gaze, so we ended up letting them in. We thought about calling the police, but we didn't want to become the talk of the neighborhood. Things probably went as they planned. They started to stay longer. Maybe it's our fault for not being able to speak up, but them coming over every day is unforgivable. It really makes me feel sick. My father-in-law seems to be tolerating these two coming over. Father said to go and relax at Ryan's place, probably because it's too noisy with us two around. I guess. Oh, if she's aware that she's being noisy, I wish she'd be a bit quieter or more considerate. Even though I think so, I can't go against my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, so I had no choice but to hold back my words. On a particularly frustrating day, Ryan's work became busy, and he started coming home late. Because of this, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law became even more overbearing. Jennifer, when will you let me hold my grandchild? A daughter-in-law who can't have children is a failure, you know. She would bluntly intrude on sensitive issues. Despite being in my own home, I was stressed. Not to mention, with the noise and their late-night presence, there's no chance for us to even think about having children. Are they aware of this when they say these things? My mother-in-law and sister-in-law were rummaging through the fridge. That was still somewhat bearable, but recently, whenever I went to the bathroom or looked away while doing chores, they would start digging through my closet and meddling with my bags and accessories. It didn't stop there. They even tried to take my wallet and go outside. Wait a minute, Susan. What are you doing? That's my wallet, isn't it? I was shocked that they were trying to take someone's wallet, and I raised my voice. Hey, we've run out of liquor in the fridge. I was just going to go buy some. What's wrong with that? Don't rummage through my stuff, and if you want to drink so badly, why not use your own money to buy it? When I said this firmly and took my wallet back, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law became furious. Why should we pay for necessities in this house? It's only natural that you, Jennifer, bear all the costs and entertain us. I just couldn't understand what they were saying. If they visited only a few times a year, I could understand, but not when it's every day. Although my wallet was unharmed, I was terrified by their behavior. To prevent the same thing from happening again, I started hiding my wallet where they couldn't find it. However, whenever I looked away, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law would enjoy scouring the house as if they were on a scavenger hunt. Really, stop it. What you two are doing is beyond acceptable. When I warned them, they lashed out with, "Shut up, don't talk back. You're just a daughter-in-law," and this continued until I finally became ill. When Ryan's work finally calmed down, we discussed what to do. Ryan's face turned red with anger, as if a volcano was about to erupt. "What the hell are you two doing? Don't ever come to this house again. Get out." Whether they were intimidated by Ryan's force or scared, they quietly left that day. However, for some reason, I felt uneasy about my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. At that moment, I caught a glimpse of a smile on their faces as they left. Something was off. It was very unsettling. It's been 3 days since we kicked out my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. The two of them used to come over every day, but now there's silence. Finally, we can live without stress. Ryan and I were affectionate like a couple for the first time in a while. As we were enjoying our happy time together, Ryan's phone rang. His face changed while talking. After the call ended, I tried to ask who it was, but Ryan was staring into space, seemingly lost in thought. It was clear something serious had happened just by looking at him. Anxiety washed over me. Then Ryan said something that was beyond my worst imagination. The credit card company called, and it seems like my credit card has been fraudulently used. What do you mean? Someone is using it? Yeah, it seems about $330,000 has been used. What do you mean? Has the credit card been used fraudulently? As I was astounded, Ryan continued speaking. It seems that the place where it was used is apparently Florida. What, Florida? Why? Ryan never carries his wallet on work days, so there's no way he dropped it. He doesn't do any online shopping, so it made even less sense. We had no clue how this could have happened. I've asked the credit card company to freeze the card for now. What on earth is going on? While we were thinking of how this could have happened, my phone rang. Looking at who was calling, it was the worst. A call from my mother-in-law at a time like this. Seriously, this is the worst timing. Can't she read the room at all? They didn't know what we were going through, but I felt the same way Ryan did. We were not in a state to deal with her, so I ignored the call, but she kept calling persistently. Why now? It's so annoying. My words just slipped out, fed up with the continuous ringing. I decided to answer the call. Jennifer, what have you done? The voice from the phone was so loud, I thought it might break my eardrum. It's not like I deserve to be yelled at. As soon as I picked up, the voice was so loud it hurt my ears, so I thought it better for Ryan to hear as well, and put her on speaker. Keeping my cool, I asked, "What's the matter with calling so many times?" Then she said something shocking. "Jennifer, what have you done? You stopped the credit card, didn't you? Now I can't use it. How are you going to fix this? Wait, she knows about that?" A thought crossed my mind, so I asked her, "Mother, by any chance, are you in Florida right now?" "What? Yes, I'm in Florida. I'm on a vacation with Susan, using my leave." "Why would you ask that? More importantly, why did you stop the credit card? It's causing trouble." With those words, the situation became clear. The culprits who had stolen and used the credit card were my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. We were left speechless, a mix of shock and dismay. "I saw the wallet in your purse when you left to the bathroom the other day, so I just took the credit card," she said. "We came straight to Florida after you kicked us out." Angry as we were, not only did they do as they pleased in someone else's home, but what they did was the lowest of human actions. Ryan and I could no longer contain our anger. "Listen, Mother, even if we're family, taking and using someone else's credit card is a clear crime." As I spoke with trembling anger, my mother-in-law was laughing. "What are you talking about?" "Oh, a crime. It's just using my daughter-in-law's credit card for a bit." "Why would that be a crime? You're overreacting. We're family. It should be fine." "Wait," she took and used my credit card. For a moment, I thought I had misheard and looked at Ryan in confusion. It seems that my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were both under the impression that the credit cards they took from the bag were mine. Since it's Jennifer's credit card, I thought I'd use it to my heart's content. You know, that's why I did a lot of shopping and enjoyed meals at fancy restaurants. It was quite clear from the tone of her voice that she had taken full advantage of what she thought was the opportunity. But why does she believe it is my credit card? As I pondered this, she added something even more appalling. "This is a good chance to teach you something. A daughter-in-law's money is my money. You married into our family, so it's only natural, right? So you'll be paying the full amount for what we've used here. So when will the credit card be ready for you to use?" I was shocked by her brazen words and decided to ask her a question. "Did you check the name on that credit card?" "Huh? What are you talking about?" "That's what I'm asking. Did you look at the name that's written on the card?" Just as unthinking, she shouldn't make me repeat myself. The loud and unpleasant voice of my mother-in-law quieted down. "Wait, this is Ryan's credit card? Why? How can that be?" Finally, she realizes that the credit card isn't mine but belongs to her son Ryan. I can hear my mother-in-law and sister-in-law panicking over the phone. "Why is it Ryan's credit card? I took it from your wallet. To clarify the confusion for my mother-in-law, I explained, "Oh, didn't you know? Ryan and I have matching wallets." "What? Why would you do that?" "Indeed, my husband and I often have matching items, sometimes in different colors, but usually the same. That's why Ryan's wallet is identical to mine. But I took the wallet from your bag, so why is Ryan's wallet in your bag?" Patiently and kindly, I explained to my flustered mother-in-law, Ryan doesn't usually carry his wallet on work days, but he does when we go out on a date. Whenever we go out together, he always ends up carrying my bag. I prefer to carry my own things, but he insists, saying it would be too heavy for me and takes it from my hands. When there are many things to carry, a bag becomes a nuisance, so he doesn't bring one. Naturally, Ryan's wallet ends up in my bag since he doesn't carry a wallet to work. It usually stays in my bag. Hearing my explanation, my mother-in-law muttered discontentedly over the phone. For the record, I had hidden my wallet in a place they wouldn't find it because of their previous actions, so the only wallet in my bag was Ryan's. Moreover, I had hidden the bag containing Ryan's wallet deep in the closet too. Their determination to find it was relentless. It's a big problem that they rummaged through bags and took out credit cards, but even more so that they used them without checking whose name is on them. I could hear my mother-in-law repeatedly saying, "But I thought it was Jennifer's wallet." You wouldn't think it's Ryan's wallet, would you? If I had known it was Ryan's credit card from the start, I wouldn't have used it. No, why is it that my credit card could be used but not Ryan's? That logic just didn't make sense to me, so I asked. I would never use my dear son's credit card, but you, on the other hand, are just an obstacle to me, so I thought it didn't matter how much I used. Upon hearing this despicable reasoning, Ryan lashed out at his mother. "How can you do something so low to the person I love most?" Mother-in-law retorted with, "What do you mean by most beloved? You're my precious son." It seems she didn't understand the concept of letting go. Just thinking about how they intended to freely use someone else's credit card filled me with dread. Ryan seemed to be beyond anger, looking completely drained of strength. Then my mother-in-law continued with something incomprehensible. "If you want the full amount back, wire the money to my bank account right now. Oh, and include some for us to have fun with." "Will you wait a minute? Why do we have to wire the money if we want the full amount back?" Their thought process was way beyond my common sense. It wasn't just illogical. It seemed insane. "Why are you silent?" "Wire the money now. We can't get back home. Is that okay with you?" They should have been apologetic for their mistake, but for some reason they were acting brazen. Ryan couldn't take it anymore and yelled at the two, "Are you insane? There's no way I'm wiring the money. How can you even say that? Figure it out and come back." Ryan's voice was low and filled with authority and volume. It must have been scary because the two of them finally fell silent. We added more pressure on them. "Hey, what do you think you're doing? It seems like you've been causing trouble for Ryan and the others." He said that with a voice of authority. "Why are you here?" As it turned out, while I was dealing with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, Ryan had contacted his father to report the situation. Then a surprising truth came to light. "Didn't you invite these two?" I was told I wasn't invited because I had work. They had apparently told my father-in-law that we had invited them. Of course that wasn't true, and Ryan explained everything that had happened. Upon hearing the truth, my father-in-law was outraged. While still connected to my mother-in-law's phone, he rushed over to our house. "No, you see, that's not it. Listen to me, please." The mother-in-law and sister-in-law were flustered, making incomprehensible excuses, clearly more frightened than when Ryan had yelled at them. "I don't want to hear any excuses. We're getting a divorce. Susan, at your age, how can you not be ashamed of what you're doing? You must leave the house. From my father-in-law's mouth came talk of divorce and being kicked out. Ryan and I exchanged surprised glances at these unexpected words. What? You're joking, right? This divorce talk, it's a lie, right? At this point, do you think I'm lying? Once you get back, sign the divorce papers, pack your things, and leave right away. You could tell they were hit hard by his words. I couldn't help but think, serve them right. To my father-in-law's response, not just my father-in-law, Ryan further cornered my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Don't think you can even come to my house either. If you come again, I don't care how much noise you make or what the neighbors think, I won't hesitate to call the police. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law lost their words upon hearing what my father-in-law and Ryan said. They must have been deeply affected. Wire the $330,000 you owe to my bank account in one lump sum. If I can't confirm the transfer by the deadline, you'll have to deal with the police and the lawyer. Upon hearing this, my sister-in-law hurriedly wired the money. Ryan called to confirm the transfer and shouted, "If you had that amount available, you should have traveled with your own money." My mother-in-law and sister-in-law were trembling and apologizing over the phone. When Ryan tried to hang up, it seemed like the two were apologizing and saying various pleas. Ryan decided to have no further contact and promptly blocked my mother-in-law and sister-in-law's numbers. Afterwards, my father-in-law apologized for not managing the two properly. "I'm truly sorry. If only I had watched over them more properly, I would have noticed sooner." Ryan assured my father-in-law that he had done nothing wrong. No, Dad, you've done nothing wrong, so please don't apologize." He asked his father, who was still apologizing, to stop. With my mother-in-law and sister-in-law no longer visiting the house, our lives finally returned to peace. As for how my mother-in-law and sister-in-law managed to return home, it seems my sister-in-law used her own money to buy their tickets. They should have used their own money for the trip from the start, but they complained about not wanting to spend their savings. The worst part was hearing them say, "We wanted to use Jennifer's credit card for fun." Their characters were too twisted. In the end, they lost everything.